Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Midgard Golf. And we're out here today still at Langdon Farms Golf Club in Aurora, Oregon, one of my favorite golf courses in the area out here. And I'm just so excited to bring you this content, just as I was the front nine, just because it is one of my favorites out here. So thank you so much for joining us again for the conclusion to this round here. And if you're liking this content, do us a favor and throw us a like and subscribe. And if this is the first video that you're watching, then just an FYI, every 100 subscribers I give away a very limited edition Midgard Golf hat. And I don't sell them. There's only two ways to get a Midgard Golf hat, and that is either by winning one of those giveaways or by actually playing with us and being featured in a vlog. So quite a rare hat indeed. So, this 10th hole here, excuse me, opens you up here to the back nine pretty easy, so long as you don't miss left. So, yeah, about halfway down the fairway there, the heavy tree line off to the left begins. And if you happen to snap hook one over there into that, or, carve one out there for you lefties out there, then, yeah, that's going to be quite the losing proposition indeed. But you've got plenty of room to miss to the right over there. I mean, you've got a little kind of space of pretty nicely manicured grass, actually, in between cart paths. And then to the right of that, you've got adjacent fairway. So you can literally miss for a day and a half out to the right and have absolutely no worries. And then off to the right there, along this hole's cart path, you've got one fairly sizable tree, and yeah, that's about it. So long as you stay out from behind that one tree off to the right hand side, you're going to be doing a-okay. So yeah, once you make your way up to the green there, you're going to have one sizable bunker off to kind of the front left, and then a little itty bitty bunker over there off to the front right, yeah, just before the green there. And that's really all you've got to deal with. Once you are making your approach to the green, I would highly suggest, if you're kind of in between numbers for whatever distance you have on into the green the rest of the way, I would pick the lower of the two clubs, because going long on this green is also a losing proposition. Brought to you by the beautiful backdrop of trees back there that pretty much guard the roadway just behind that. So anyway, there you have it. And we're playing this course from 2 up. So, yep, for us, that's 342 yards for this hole and tipping out at 386. So, driver in hand. I'm just going to try to pump one down there. I'm pretty well cutting drivers right now. So, yeah, I've got pretty much not a worry in the world. Let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 11th hole in our first par 5 of 2 par 5s on this back 9. And you won't see another one until the 18th hole, so enjoy it. Playing for us at 558 yards and tipping out at 629, so pretty healthy length for a par 5, I'd say. Let's see here, how the hole plays here. Pretty straight. Just no real dog legs in it. It just kind of goes straight out. So, and you've got a kind of an inviting fairway out in front of you. I mean, well, okay, not that much. It's actually kind of narrow. You've got trees on both sides, left and right. The trees on the left are definitely further down than they appear. So, it's kind of some depth perception madness there that they're offering you there off to the left. So I would definitely say off the rip here, if you got a miss to a side, then just barely left would be it, especially with the kind of generous sideboard support you have there. That said, that sideboard is pretty heavy rough, so if you do happen to hit it, very likely that your ball will just get hung up in it. That said, if you end up to the right, much better chance you're going to end up having yourself some tree trouble to try to make your way up to the green there. But if you carve one all the way past the trees, then you do have adjacent fairway over there off to the right. So that could be an option as well, especially if you pound one quite a ways down there. Then you might actually have an angle to get yourself on in too. I don't know. But you're going to be awkwardly staring at the people trying to tee off on the next hole as you do so. So, if you do happen to stay in this fairway, then there will be a fairway bunker right in the middle of the hole as the initial fairway runs out and the cart path crosses the hole from the left side to the right. And then on from there, you're going to have even heavier trees off to the left, and they're going to taper off to the right. So for the green approach, I would definitely say the right side is the better side miss. Once you get up there to the green itself, then you're just going to have one more bunker to contend with. It's just going to be to the front left of the green. So, without further ado, driver in hand, I'm just going to try to put one down there and put it out in the fairway. Let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 12th hole. A 399-yard par 4 for us here, so basically 4 bills, and tipping out at 446. So quite a healthy length indeed here. That said, pretty well a grip it and rip it hole, I would say. You've got adjacent hole on both your left and right. The right will be the hole that you just played, number 11. And then the left side will be number, 14? So that's what you're looking at here. That said, so you've definitely got a whole lot more tree trouble on the right than you do the left. But that said, you're going to find some like seriously thick kind of native fescue rough stuff off to the left much earlier than you will on the right. In fact, on the right, you're not really going to find any of that until you make your way all the way up to the green. So, with one bunker to contend with, kind of about a third of the way through the fairway there, off to the right side of the fairway, I would say if you're a big hitter, then the right side would be the better side miss. If you think you got the juice to carry all the trees over there and take them out of play. And if you're a shorter hitter, then I would say the left is the better side miss. So, if you feel like you're not going to make the distance to find your way into that native fescue anyway. So, either way, I mean, you're going to have a decent angle up onto the green there. If you do miss to the right badly enough, then you might have to contend with the rather large green side bunker there off to the kind of front right side of it. If you miss to the left, then you're going to have that bunker off to the right, and you're not going to have to hit over anything. So that's nice. So pick your poison on this hole. Me, well, I'm hitting cuts, and that's just fine. So driver in hand, not worried about anything. Let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 13th hole. And here's me praying to get off this bogey train. Kind of a brutal start to the back nine, but that's okay. As I said in part one, the range was closed on this day that we were there. So we're playing this round with absolutely no warm-up. So anyway, it is what it is. But enough with the excuses. So number 18 handicap here. Little par, 348 yards for us, tipping out at 179. And playing pretty level, so playing about that number, I'd say. Maybe it's slightly downhill, but not enough to really shave any yardage off, I would say. Let's see here. So no bunker trouble to worry about. You do have a pretty sizable lake over there off to the left, and not a whole lot of room to miss the green to the left and stay out of that lake. Although the grass over there is pretty long, so if you hit the green and you just roll off of it, fair chance that your ball will stay up before it rolls into that water there. That said, you've got plenty of room to miss to the right with pretty much not a care in the world. So I'll say definitely right side miss would be the good side miss on this hole. So I have the gap wedge in hand. Just going to try to send it up in the air and stab this green. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 14th hole. Just a nice, modest par 4 for us here. Playing for us at 353 yards and tipping out at 416 yards. So, yeah, pretty easy day for most players out there. And at that, you really don't have a whole lot of trouble up on this hole here. You've got a little bit of trees, tree trouble hanging out there off to the right, but not a whole heck of a lot. So, yeah, I mean, not enough to really worry about. Certainly not enough to eat your ball so that you wouldn't find it. Off to the left, you've got like one kind of solemn tree way down there that's just before the green, probably unreachable for most people. So I'm saying that the left is the good side miss, unless you happen to hit it really short and end up in that fairway bunker off to the left side of the fairway there. That's just before halfway down the fairway, I would say. And if you do miss left, however, then there will be a bunker for you to contend with, possibly. That's over there off to the front left side of this rather sizable green. So I've got the driver in hand. I'm just going to try to take this left line here and hit myself a little baby cut down the right side and give myself an easy approach up onto this green. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 15th hole. A rather short par 4 for us here, playing for us at just 311 yards and tipping out at 361. So for us, definitely gettable. So that said, though, it does play kind of crawlingly and slightly uphill. So probably playing a little bit further than the card number suggests. But still, pretty modest hole here. So that said, yeah, pretty tight off the rip here for the fairway, and it more or less widens up the further down you go. That said, the further down you go, the closer you get to bringing in the bunker trouble. The first of which will be a rather sizable fairway bunker just at the end of the initial fairway there, off to the right-hand side. And then as you make your way up to the green, you'll have one kind of a kidney bean shaped bunker there off to the front left, and another sort of ghostly looking bunker there off to the front right. So yeah, apart from that, no worries. The native fescue will definitely creep up on you much faster on the right than it will on the left. So I mean, with the landing area opening up to the left, and I mean either way you miss, you're going to have bunker contention. So I would definitely say left is the better side miss here. So if you can keep it that way, then, well, you're going to have much more of a chance to have yourself a happy driving landing area. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do, driver in hand. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 16th hole. Made it to the stretch, crossing under the road here, back to the clubhouse side of that road. So, and teeing off pretty much right next to the clubhouse as well. So, yep, get one more shot at a real nice drive to have whatever audience happens to be sitting there, clap for you, whatever. I don't know. But so cool par 5 here par 4 here to start our stretch. Playing for us at 371 yards and tipping out at 420 yards. So yeah, pretty lengthy indeed. That said, it plays pretty level, so yeah, pretty much playing the number. And you've only got one bunker on the entire hole, and that's about halfway down the fairway off to the left side of it. Let's see here. The tree trouble on the right side is going to run out on you pretty quick, even before that bunker, really. So if you do happen to miss right, fair chance that you will get hung up on that hill there and have a decent shot up on the green, although your lie will likely be in some seriously rough stuff over there. If you miss to the left, obviously you've got that one bunker and you've got kind of some more tree trouble that surrounds that bunker, but that's about it. So, yeah, I mean, if you really hook one or pull one over there off to the left, then you've got the adjacent hole over there that's number 18 off to the left to catch your ball as well. So, yeah, no big deal missing one to the left here. So I'm definitely saying, yeah, that's the way to go. This is the left side miss. Once you make your way up to the green, no bunker to worry about, but you're going to have a pretty sizable grouping of trees to the back and left of the green, although they are a pretty generous distance away from the green there. So if you do happen to miss the green just barely long, then you're probably not going to get in them. But if you happen to just catch one, and fly the green by a long ways, then fair chance that you could end up in that heavy thicket of trees there, which might eat your ball and at the very least afford you a incredibly uncomfortable shot to try to knock it back up onto this green. So anyway, driver in hand. Let's see if I can't keep it left. Let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 17th hole in our final par 3 of the day out here on the absolutely gorgeous Langdon Farms Golf Club in Aurora, Oregon here. So, quite a lengthy par 3 for us here too, playing for us at 185 yards and tipping out at a whopping 224. So, yeah, definitely demanding a good shot with a kind of mid to, well, possibly kind of long club here. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. But that said, not a whole lot to worry about. You got a day and a half to miss to the left there, and you're going to be in some grass that, isn't really going to suck up your ball over there off to the left either. If you just barely miss off to the left, then you've got the pairing of kind of steep bunkers there that you're going to have to, navigate your way out of, should you end up in those. And if you miss to the back right, that's the only other place that you're going to find yet another bunker and quite a small one back there indeed. So apart from that, I mean, yeah, there's not a whole lot to worry about here. If you just barely miss to the right there, you've got plenty of sideboard support, and yeah, even a little bit of backboard support directly behind the green. Well, more directly behind the green and to the right. So yeah, I mean, if you tend to miss bad, then definitely miss left, just to keep your ball safe and out of traffic over there off to the right. But I mean, if you're pretty decent with whatever club you've got in your hand to make this yardage happen, then yeah, I would say probably actually the right side miss would be more friendly for you, so as to just avoid those bunkers there off to the front left. So I have the 8-iron in hand. Let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 18th hole, and as mentioned earlier, our final par 5 for the day as well. And just a gorgeous hole to bring you back into the clubhouse indeed. Playing adjacent to the 9th hole, that will be off to your right-hand side, and then off to your left-hand side, you've got another adjacent hole that's number 15. So you can miss pretty hard in either direction, so long as you stay short enough in order to stay out of the water. That'll be up to the right-hand side of the fairway and kind of encroaching into the middle of it, really. So, yeah, anyway, if you want a nice dry shot onto the green where you don't really have to hit over the water, then you're definitely going to have to miss to the left. However, if you miss hard enough to the left, then you might have to contend with the kind of scattering of trees over there in that direction. If you miss off to the right, then there's a couple of trees that'll be, well, I don't know, giant bushes, I don't know what you want to call those down there, that are right there next to the lake, or just in front of the lake, depending on your perspective there, that you might have to contend with it. But if you happen to make that yardage anyway, then you're going to be probably drawing a club to where you should be able to skyjack those pretty easily anyway. So there's that. But you will have to shoot directly over the water and absolutely stab this green. So there's that. Yeah, once you make your way up to this massive double green, horseshoe-shaped double green up there, as I mentioned in part 1, that this hole shares with the 9th hole. Yeah, there's going to be one rather large bunker tucked in behind the trees there off to the front left side of the green, and that's all you got to worry about so far as bunker trouble is concerned on this hole. So, keep your ball dry. Stay to the left if you want a better guarantee of that, and yeah, if you want a better guarantee of just staying out of tree trouble, then maybe off to the right is the better call for you. If you're not scared of having to fly a giant lake for your approach shot up onto the screen, pick your poison. So I've got the driver in hand, and I'm going for the guaranteed route and just trying to keep this ball safely to the left and up in this fairway. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do. And again, before I stop talking here, I just want to thank you guys for watching another video with us. at Midgard Golf. And, as always, I hope that you all have an absolutely marvelous day.
Dead center. Yep. Well, yeah. Anybody can hit it down the middle. That makes it